Girlfriends, we're going to do a little pillow talk on today, and this is the Pillow Talk Designer Edition. Again, I ask you to excuse me for the glare. I don't have on my glare lenses that don't reflect the light. Yes, in my office space, and as you can see here, I have a pillow set up. Well, it's really not a pillow set up, but what I'm going to talk about today is pillows because that's just a part of me and what I do. A link for my Etsy shop is linked down below in the description box. Talk color on today with the pillows, and I have the brown leopard behind me, this beautiful brown chenille, as well as this beautiful floral print here. Now I'm going to talk about these pillows in reference to basically not just buying them, of course, but but why they work and how they could work in your spaces if you choose something like this. So again, I'm holding these 3 looks from the shop. Let me grab this one, which is this beautiful brown leopard print pillow. Now for me, leopard print, faux animal prints are pretty much like a neutral. This in reference to also color, why it's trending, why brown is having its moment again after so many years. I did it some years back. It didn't catch right then, but it slowly trickled and became trendy. After a few years, it's made its comeback. The brown, it's never gone anywhere. It's always touches of it. It's sort of like black, in my opinion. Black is always elegant, it's very classic, it's very classy, and it's also in the way you style it to make it that way. How these 3 looks, or these 3 colors and patterns and also textures, can carry you into every season without simply redoing an entire room. So first, we're talking about brown, especially in modern spaces. It doesn't have to be modern, it could be traditional, transitional, and ongoing, all of the different styles, contemporary, and how it could work in those spaces. I know you all have noticed and seen the shift from the cool grays, and now it's trickling down to the beautiful browns, blues, all of those colors, and they're fresh, they're modern, they're cozy, and they also create a vibe in your space. For me, my thought behind with design is brown it's a bridge color, and it brings coziness to a space. In other words, it brings the colors or the space down. It has that grounding effect, again, like I mentioned before, with black. And what it is because of its timeless effect. It's timeless because it sits close to colors that we already love and we tend to gravitate towards, like leathers, wood, stone, rattan, pretty much kind of a natural color if you think about it. So I often say think about what you see in nature, and that will help you with your design process. When you go outside and you look around in the atmosphere wherever you are outside and what it looks like outside, you will start to comprehend and understand and bring those elements on the inside, and that will help you create flow and movement with color in your spaces. There's so much color to be had that is outside. But brown is one of those colors. When you look at the ground, the earth, you have dirt. So again, equate that back to your interiors. What I just said about brown and how grounding it is. You think of dirt, you think of the earth, you think of trees, you think of the bark on the trees, the actual body of the tree. When I think about brown, or what I want to convey to you is, brown is not just dark. Brown is actually a whole family, because there's so many different tones of browns that you can choose from. You have caramel browns, you have dark browns, you have medium browns, rich dark browns like this, even this color of brown, and especially with the texture, so it gives you those different highlights and lows of the different brown. You have the minks, you have the taupes, bring in that very soft and elegant feel, especially with taupes. Taupes tend to have a very soft feel in a space, just like out in nature. Think about it, go outside and take a look around, and you will see exactly what I'm speaking of. And then with the darker tones, you can also, you bring in that mood, that vibe, the deeper chocolates, the espressos, the rich colors like this one that I'm holding up here. So what you can also do is match the color tone of your wood with your browns, not matchy, but what you do is put your browns up against the color tones of your wood, and this is going to help you choose the perfect brown tones for your space. For instance, oaks love caramel, walnuts love chocolate, and white oaks typically love minks and taupes. And let me give you a taupe color so that you can see that as well. Here's the taupe that I was speaking of. Pattern, it's a very tight weave, so it comes across almost like a solid. I'll bring you in closer. It has like a dot effect, which pairs, again, as I was saying, with the different tones of your woods. And taupes pair beautifully with white oaks, giving, again, a very soft, elegant feel to your space with the woods. So in modern spaces with white walls, stone, black accents, and brass hardware, brown is your balancing act, like black. It keeps black from feeling too sterile in a space, like it's overpowering, and it also keeps black from feeling too stark and heavy. That is what brown can do for you. It also warms up whites and creams in this space, keeping it from feeling too stark and too sterile, which can be overpowering as well. Brown makes your brasses feel more collected instead of shiny. Brown is a color that whispers in a space. It doesn't just shout at you. Mink, a soft effect to it. And that whisper in that space is what you want, because that will aid in keeping your space feeling or looking a little bit more expensive. Too much of anything in excess can cause your space to feel tacky. Brown can have that effect just like black. So now we're going to talk about brown as your neutral. So this one, as you can see here, is a small scale faux leopard print. In other words, it reads more like a texture rather than an actual faux animal print or print. Why? Because when patterns sit 2 or 3 close in the tones, your eye would typically read it as a weave or a tweed. Just like tweeds and weave, it blends everything together because of the print is smaller. And that is the reason why leopard prints or faux animal prints, especially in the smaller patterns, reads better or beautifully with solid stripes, florals, and plaids. In other words, it's like visual interest without chaos, just like you see here with these two patterns. But this is reading more of a solid, even though it's not solid. But again, because of what I just explained, the print being more small rather than large, it reads more solid and neutral rather than a print. And that's why it works with this faux leopard print or faux animal print. And here's the floral and why this works. This particular floral brings in the warm notes, and it adds the soft curves to the more organic feel of the faux leopard print. With pattern mixing 101, combine one small print pattern to a more medium. Then what you would do is add a solid to anchor the entire look. And one thing I like, or one thing I do, is like to, in my shop with my pillow covers, is add things that all mix and match well together. Just like this beautiful floral print. It has the French blues, it has the beautiful soft mauves, it has soft hints of grays, it has tans, taupes, and again the brown, which bring all of this entire look together. And as you can see here, with a lot of the colors that I use in my space, and going forward, even throughout my entire home, I can mix and match these colors. I can use solids, I can use prints, I can use plaids, I can use florals. But what I do is keep those color combinations together in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Even as you look around the room right now, and I have this beautiful piece of art here on the wall, carries all of these colors, same colors, into this artwork. they flow one with the other. So that's why it still works even in this space. Even though this is more of a modern, abstract, contemporary design piece of art, it still works. And that's what I wanted to bring to you today. So that's today's pillow talk. And if you love to mix and match patterns and prints, it's reinforcing everything I just said. So why brown and why now? Because brown is the most human of neutrals. That's why brown. It's grounding, it's warm, and simply quite elegant. It softens modern edge of modern designs, and it elevates the comfort in traditional homes as well as transitional. So when you layer, like I was saying before, brown with a soft floral, and then you drop in a solid, for me, you're not just decorating, you're simply composing. You're telling a story of your home with depth, texture, and tones. So if you're starting from scratch and you want to work with browns, start with a solid brown as your anchor. Go back to the leopard print for your interest, your texture, and also for character. This is like that little wink that says your room has confidence and some style. And you don't have to use these particular colors, but keep the overall design base of what I've talked about in your thoughts as you're going through a process of decorating your space. You will add your beautiful floral to bring in that movement and that beautiful grace that you would have in your space. And then you simply add or you swap out something else that can add a seasonal touch or a different mood to your space. And with all that being said, that is very thoughtful design, creative in your designs, being versatile and also being collect and keeping your space as well livable. Tell me below, which one are you? Team overall neutral, but we want to try to add some interest to our space with color and pattern, or just subtle color, subtle pattern. These are, again, in the explanations I gave you, soft ways to introduce that into your space, and especially with the browns and the muted tones that I have given on today. Just know this: brown is your friend, and your friend is not going anywhere anytime soon. So as always, stay inspired, motivated, keep moving, creating something beautiful. If not for yourself, then definitely for someone else. And this has been Chanel, and as always, keep creating, keep moving, and stay inspired. And if it's not for you, then definitely for someone else. So I'll see you all for the next one, and thanks for joining me. As always, bye for now.